The previous 24 hours had been a bit of an adventure, to be honest with you. We'd taken the long winding road that stops at Kinlochhorn and got up early the following morning to paddle into the Rough Bounds of Knoydart. And after setting up camp at the bottom of the hill, we'd tackled Ladhar Bheinn, a mountain over 1,000 metres, and done quite a bit of ascent and descent in one day. And then following that, we immediately paddled back out, and the highlight of that was seeing the porpoise doing their fishing on Loch Horn. It was fantastic, but you know what? It was quite a lot in the space of just over 24 hours. Anyway, in my infinite wisdom, I then decided, after packing up my kayaking gear and the gear from Ladhar Bheinn, that there was a nice wee Corbett not too far from where the car was parked, and I thought I'd try and head up that. Sometimes I do question my own, sanity, I suppose. It was going to be a tough pull after all that adventure in the last wee while. Right, well, I'm still in Knoydart. I'm down at Kinlochhorn, and last week you might have seen that fantastic trip up Ladhar Bheinn and the kayaks and the porpoises, and well, that for me was literally just finished about an hour ago. So I've decided there's a Corbett right to the north of Kinlochhorn, and this is, I don't know, sometimes I question my sanity. God, I'm a bit spanked, but it just seemed too good an opportunity. Plus I don't really fancy travelling down this blooming road again to bag it. And I'm here. Forecast isn't great today, but you know what, the sun's just coming out, so let's see if it stays dry, and if I can get to the top of this Corbett, I think it'll have great views showing the route that we did on last week's video. Right, take me shut up, put the camera away, and make sure I'm going along the right path. I'll check in later. There's a stalker's path which takes you through the woodland at the bottom of the hill, and it rises quite steeply through these woods, which are lovely, but they kind of obscure the views a wee bit. But it doesn't go on for too long. Before long you reach a gate which starts to take you out onto more open hillside, and before long you get those views down Loch Horn towards Ladhar Bheinn, almost the opposite view to what we'd had yesterday. It was lovely. Oh dear, legs are starting to feel it a wee bit now. Well, there's a nice stalker's path up here, which is making the going rather more pleasant. It's zigzagging its way up, and I've said it before, but you really get a lot of benefit when there's a path in the ground. And this, according to the routes, this stalker's path goes up to about 700 metres. So after there, the path will disappear like many Corbetts. But anyway, look at this behind me. Right down Loch Horn to Ladhar Bheinn. I can see exactly where I was about 3 or 4 hours ago, just paddling along there watching the porpoises. Fantastic. I don't know if you'll make it out, but you can see Ben Skriel over towards Arnisdale as well. It's clear of cloud. Further inland it's a bit more overcast, but so far so good. It's dry. Touch wood, it stays dry. It's quite humid, but there's a nice breeze today. I've got my buff on underneath my hat. It might look silly, but that I find that's really effective in soaking up the sweat. If I don't have that buff underneath the hat, I'm always wiping the sweat from my brow, and it seems to stop that. So that's why I've got that on there, in case you're wondering. So anyway, I'm going to stop yapping, and I'm going to head up here a bit further till the point where the stalker's path finishes. Then I'll need to get the map and compass out and start taking bearings. But so far so good. Let's go. So up I went, and the path was helping, and those views behind me were just fabulous the higher I got up the hill. But I couldn't but notice that the clouds from the south and the west were starting to get darker and darker. Saying that though, the sun was still coming out every now and then. quick bit to camera in the shade, in the sun here, and the wind's dropped. So I've just had a signal on my phone. Oh! And the weather's to change in about an hour. There's heavy rain moving in, so I'm going to try and get motoring. See if I can get to the summit before it comes on. So I'm going to put the camera away, just go as fast as I can. See if I can avoid it. Seems inevitable that I'm going to get soaked though. Right, let's go. Whew, right, I've stopped to get some jelly babies because I am going as fast as I can. You can see it's getting darker over my shoulder, and out west the top of Ladhar Bheinn's now got a wee cap of cloud on it, and this is turning into a battle to see how quickly I can get on spent legs to the summit of this Corbett. You get up to the top here and then you drop down and out to the top, and there's a wee story about this Corbett. I've kind of left this one for a while because I actually thought it was going to be a lot bigger trip. I think I got jelly baby stuff on my lips. Don't know. Anyway, it's hard to say. Yeah, so it was originally my Corbett book. This is there was 2 peaks to do in this, and now there's only one, and this is going to be a shorter day, thankfully. Yeah, I'm just mindful of time. I'll spin you around so you can see my view. Have a look at that. Not bad, eh? But you can see it's starting to get darker, south and west. And according to the forecast, it's going to start raining in about an hour, so maybe a bit less than that now. So I've fed up, and yeah, hopefully these jelly babies will give me a bit of sugar rush. So time to get going. Whew, time to shut up and get going. Just below the first summit of Ladhar Bheinn, there. Hope you can hear this. I've got you quite close to me because it's windy. But the other summit's just outlying. That's the true summit over there at 885 metres. The true summit of Ladhar Bheinn. So I'm going to have to go up here and then drop down this ridge out here and retrace my steps. Rain hasn't started yet, but it's not too far away. So let's get cracked on and along this ridge to the top of the mountain. Woo, let's go. After reaching the wee summit that was an out and back to the true summit of Ladhar Bheinn, and the ridge out there, yeah, you have to be careful. I took a few wrong turns on the descent, but anyway, saying that, I was soon approaching the summit at 885 metres, and I must admit things were looking a bit ominous. Those clouds were getting darker and darker, but as I reached the summit it was still dry, and I was going to enjoy it and taking the views before the inevitable happened and the rain came in. I'll tell you what, I'm glad to get here. Benavuda, the story I was going to tell you, oh that's the rain just starting, almost bang on cue just after 1. The story I was going to tell you is for quite a bit of time, this hill was, I hope you can see me, I'll maybe move back a bit. Yeah, this hill, you had to do 2 tops in it because there's a hill over here that is exactly the same height as this. Well, not exactly, but they're both 885 metres. But there's not enough of a drop between the two to count them as separate Corbett's. So in my original Corbett book, it basically said, well, you really have to do both. And it's quite a way out to get that. And I was never sure when I came to do these whether I'd do it from the Glen Shiel side, because that's just nearer that peak, or the Kinlochhorn side. Anyway, thank God for modern technology. They re-measured them, and this one was found, Benavuda was found to be marginally, centimetres in it. Oh, it was such a close run thing. But this one was found to be marginally higher than the peak over there, so thankfully I don't have to go over and bag that one. Had I done this years ago, I would have had to make a bit of an expedition of it. Anyway, I think, yeah, the rain's in. I need to go back over to that peak. The ridge between these 2 peaks, not the one I was talking about there, but the one that I had to come over, it's quite nooks, you know, there's nooks and crannies and there's false passages, and oh, it's a bit of a pain in the backside, to be honest with you, but I need to go back along there and then drop down, and I'm going to come down another stalker's path and then back down. So I don't think I'm going to hang around too long. I'm going to get my jacket on now, and yeah, let's get back down to the car and see if I can avoid most of this rain. It's not going to happen. Right, jacket on, I think. So the rain was now on, and I wasn't going to hang about, although I was pretty tired. When I looked at the total ascent for this route, when I got back to the car, it was over 1,000 metres, starting at sea level, and there's a few ups and downs. So it's still a fairly large day, but yeah, I was keen to get back down to the car as soon as possible. It's still beautiful when it's raining. Look at this behind me, a wee bit of light breaking down over there over Lochorn. Absolutely beautiful. I'm a bit puzzled. The rain's still coming down. Well, it's not coming down over there. Oh man. Right, time to concentrate. So I descended down the hill, and that view was just spectacular. And there was just something about those low-lying clouds that caught my eye, so I actually just got my iPhone out and took a few snaps down Lochorn. After taking a few photographs, the rain got heavier and heavier, and the skies got darker and darker, so it was a bit of a trudge to get back down, but yeah, better being outside than in, eh? Still raining. I'm not far away, my car. It's just over yonder. I need to go all the way up and round and back down the road. Tell you what, I know I was trying to race up there to beat the rain, and I certainly got up there. I was more worried about navigation, although I'm fine in the mist, but I just thought it'd be easier if I could see where I was going, and that happened. And you know what, when I go back onto the stalker's path and I knew navigation wasn't going to be an issue, I quite enjoyed walking in the rain. Something strangely therapeutic about it, just walking along with the rain tapping on your hood. It's lovely. Anyway, oh, I'm a bit knick-knack knackered, and we're back to the car now. We plan another adventure tomorrow. Got a few things to sort out though. So I'm going to finish the video here. Thanks for watching. Take care out there, and I'll hopefully see you in the next adventure.